Hi everyone, I'm Igneshwari Nachathiram. Together with my group members, would like to present the case titled Full Disclosure, the case of morally challenged AP Clerk. So for my part, I will present the introduction of the case and also answer question 1 from the book. Okay, let's look at the introduction of the case. John Stanton, who is a CPA, became the CFO of a highly successful privately held manufacturer of solar panels. The company actually planned to go public and they want John to lead the effort. Everything goes well until Diane Hopkins, who also a CPA, came to John with a problem. Actually, she discovered that one of her account payable clerk has been embezzling money from the company. The AP clerk processing and approving fictitious invoices from shell companies for fictitious purchases. And Diane estimated that the clerk had been able to steal approximately 250,000 over the year, and half they worked at the company. Then Diane and John agreed to fire the clerk immediately, and they also did so. Later, they also agreed that John will report the matter to the police. Before that, John informed the issue to the CEO, David Lasky, who also the majority shareholder of the company. But Lasky asked John to come to his office the next day to discuss the need to report the matter to the police. And Lasky shared with John that he did not think it was a good idea to report it to the police, and he was fearful of the effect on taking the company public and the initial public offering share price. So this is the introduction about the case. Okay, now I answer to question 1. To whom do John Stanton and David Lasky owe their ultimate responsibility, and explain. I think they owe their ultimate responsibility to corporation and shareholders. This is because the CEO and CFO, who are John Stanton and David Lasky, are deemed fiduciaries of the corporation because of their relationship with the corporation and its shareholders is one of the trust and confidence. They actually work ethical and legal duties to the corporation as well as to the shareholders. The fiduciary duties can be divided into 3. The first one is duty of care. The standard of due care provides that a CEO and CFO act in a good faith, exercise the care that an ordinarily prudent person will exercise in similar circumstances, and act in the way that they consider to be in the best interests of the corporation. If the CEO and CFO did not exercise the required duty of care, they can be held liable for the harms suffered by the corporation as a result of their negligence. The second one is duty of loyalty. The duty of loyalty requires that a CEO and CFO always acts in the best interest of a business shareholders and place the interest above their own in business decision. This also includes the responsibility to avoid conflict of interest. The third one is duty of disclosure. This mandates that the CEO and CFO should fully inform both the board of directors and the shareholders about the major issues they facing in their business, and they should not hide anything from them. So that's all from my part.
Hi, I'm Mina Karavanan. Okay, for my part, I will discuss question 2, which is, if Santan were to agree not to report this embarrassment to police or disclose it in the annual report and prospectus, would he be violating the integrity or due care rule in the AICPA Code of Professional Conduct? And what about the act disputable? In my opinion, if Santan acted in such a way where he did not report this matter to police or disclose it in the annual report, definitely he is violating the rule in AICPA Code of Professional Conduct. Okay, integrity is the element of character fundamental to professional recognition. It is a quality from which the public trust derives and the benchmark against which a member must ultimately test all the decisions. Besides that, the rules also require that the performance of any professional service, a member shall maintain the objectivity and the integrity. It also shall be free from conflict of interest and shall not intentionally mispresent the fact or subordinate his or her judgment to the others. Integrity also required a member to be honest and candid with the constraint of client confidentiality. Service and the public trust that should not be subordinate to the personal gain or personal advantages. Actually, integrity is a measure in terms of what is right and just. So, in the absence of specific rules, standard, guidance, or in the face of conflicting opinion, a member should test their decision and deeds by asking themselves, such as like, am I doing what a person of integrity would do? Or question like, have I retained my integrity? So, integrity requires a member to observe both the form or spirit of technical and ethical standards. Besides that, integrity also requires a member to observe the principle of objectivity and independence of the due care. Okay, next, let's have a look at act discreditable. As a member, they should not commit an act discreditable to the professional. They will be considered in a violation of the act creditable rule if the member disclose or use any confidential employee information acquired as a result of employment without any proper authority or any specific consent of the employer or organization for whom the member may work in, unless there is a legal or professional responsibility to disclose such information. Besides that, a member also would be in a violation of the rule if the member promote market the member's ability to provide professional service or make claim about the member's qualification in a manner of false, misleading, or wrong. The professional should refer to the applicable state accountancy laws and Board of Accountancy rules and regulations for guidance regarding the use of CPA credential. A member who failed to follow the accountancy law, rules and regulations on the use of the CPA credential in any of the jurisdiction in which the CPA practicing would be considered to have used the CPA credential in a manner that is false, misleading, and violation of the act of discreditable rules. That's all from me. The next will continue by my group member.
Hello, my name is Hariharan. My ticket number is 188615. Okay, now I'm going to present about the question 3, which is assume Stanton John is preparing for the meeting with Lexi. Consider the following in deciding what he should do. What can he say to Lexi to counteract the reason Lexi provided not to notify the police? So the question is, how John can encounter the CEO's instruction to not acknowledge this problem to the police. The first things that John can say is, this is not a professional action by did not notifying this matter to police. This action can lead to get a bad name for them in future if this issue become public in future. This means if they didn't notice this problem to the police, let's say in future someone can trace this problem and let the police know, maybe some action can be taken to Lacey and also John, because on that period, they are the current top managers. So by doing that, it will give a bad name to them and also will create an unprofessional situation for them. Public might think that they keep silent in this issue purposely. This can due to them loses their job. In future, maybe if this thing happen, public will think that they are actually just keep quiet because they have interest or benefit from the action. Instead, actually not. But we know people thinking are different. Uh, Maybe in that situation, they have to bear with a situation that they they are facing things that they actually did not do, and that thing can be a big problem, which is can make their jobs, the losers of their jobs. So that's the why they have to acknowledge this matter to police immediately. Okay. Another reason is he can tell that then it also will against their job nature, which is to responsible on shareholder investment. By inform to police, also the investor or future investor will have a belief on the top management because they are very responsible. We know a CFO and CEO are a person that investor will rely on or believe on them. So if these actions are taken very seriously and acknowledged to the police, the investor have a good impact on the CEO and CFO. So they will believe that this CEO and CFO is really a responsible person, and the investor will feel secure on that situation. Another thing is, by hiding from police also can make other staff to take advantage, which they will do the same cheating in future because they did not take any big action on the previous matter. So if they inform police, it's automatically will give others a big full stop to do so. In this sentence, you can see that what John can explain to the CEO is this is this action actually by telling the police is actually create awareness among other staff and the coming staffs, because they know management will take a big action if uh, they doing this kind of matters. But let's say they didn't take any of action or didn't inform the police, which means staff will feel, feel comfortable and will we can make a same thing in future. So this actually give problem to the company and also give problem to the company and give big problems to the management side also. Okay, the second question is, who can Satan rely on for support in this matter? What might seem to the persons to encourage the support? So actually, John have to uh, need a support from others. So who can he really actually? So in my opinion, I see that Diana Hopkins, who is the CPA or the founder of the problem. This is because she can understand well what the problem is about and how it will affect the company if they did not take action or did not inform to the police. She also might be the right person because she also had a strong knowledge in legal accounting and audit rules, as both John and Diana have CPA background, so they know well the action will take by legal parties if they did not take any action. So what is we can say here is John actually can rely on Diana to support him to explain the situation to the CEO to inform this case to the police. This happened because Diana and John actually have a background on CPA. CPA is certificate public accountants. So they know the rules, the regulation, the legal actions, or the audit matters uh, in this problem or these cases, and what action can the legal take if these problems are not acknowledged. So maybe Diana can help John to explain further what are the consequences can happen if this case are not disclosed to the police. Satan also can advise Diana to be professional and do the right things as their career can be maintained for a long time. So this is a very important point because what John can say to encourage Diana is the action should be professional and follow the legal because they are handling ethical or legal uh, parts in a company. So they have to follow the rules and regulation because to maintain their professionalism and also to see their career for a long term way. So let's say they making or just keep quiet and didn't take any action. This may give a black spot for their future career. So for a better things, they both of them have to acknowledge this problem to police and make this case clear to the public and encourage the CEO to report this problem to the policeman. So that's all from me. Next, I pass to Mark to explain.
Okay, next, we are presenting about the next question. What levers can Stetson use to convince Lasky as the correct course of action given the company impending IPO? So the main levers that we can use is to let know the Lasky about the legal effect on the not reporting the issues. First one is when they decide to not report to the police, company may not fully disclose company account for audit purpose to back out the wrongdoing made by company account clerk. Section 189 bracket 3 company 8 2016 provided that if there is any untrue statement or with full non-disclosure in any statement in lieu of prospectus, any director who signed the statement commits an offence and shall and conviction be liable to imprisonment. This means the director have obligation to make sure the report that they sign is true and full and disclosure rightfully. So if not, they have to prove that is immaterial. So this means whatever has Lasky reported, he need to know that the director has an obligation to investigate either that is a true statement or not. Okay, the next is if other officer in his department acknowledge the matter and he or she reported this case, there is a bad effect to both of them who know its earlier as provision in section 587 bracket 3 Company Act 2019. No officer of a company shall be liable to be sued in any court or subject to any tribunal process, including disciplinary action and any report submitted. This means that the officer is protected by this law. We can assume that as a whistleblower, which is speak out the wrongdoing made by officer. So next is a false the section regarding to false and misleading statement, section 591 bracket 1b. In the case of officer of a corporation, be liable to imprisonment for a term not exceeding 10 years and fine not exceeding 3 million ringgit or both. This is related to the false or misleading of the statement made by officer. Next, a false report. Any person or officer made a false report to a director, auditor, member, debenture holders, and trustee. This means a stakeholder of the company. In the case of corporation, that is subsidiaries of the company auditors, and the stock exchange, whether it is outside Malaysia or officer of the stock exchange or the Security Commission. So when they want to provide IPO, offer an IPO, so that company have to giving the information to the Security Commission as well. So the false reports made by officer will have to comply with the section 592(1) Company Act 2016. After that, we are going to the false report of the statement to the registrar. This means that the company needs to provide a report to the registrar annually, so that if they made a false report, so it is covered under section 593 Company Act 2016, which is, if they do so, they be liable to imprisonment and also the fine. Next, section 594 Company Act 2016, fraudulently inducing person to invest the money. So the consent, their consent early is it will give the bad impact to the company, since company is newly want to provide IPO to public, so maybe it's bad view of their company, so they are in dilemma whether to disclose this matter or not. So this is covered in section 594. If they do the fraudulently inducing person to invest money, they will be liable to imprisonments and fines as well. Next, under the same section, in the bracket 2, every officer or agent of any corporation that intend to default costs of the someone paid any marketable security to the delivered to the corporation. So if this result to someone giving investment in the company, so it is covered under section 594 bracket 2 Company Act 2016. Beside the legal action or legal terms that we can use to convince Lasky, there is other levels that can be used as well, such as stake management issues, personal ethics, and career and performance issue. But the main is legal term that we can use to convince Lasky to report this issue.
Next, my name is Faiz Fauzi. So I would like to continue for the question. What should Stanton do next if Lasky orders him to drop the matter? When confronted with such dilemmas, Stanton need to wherewithal to make difficult yet principled decision. So here I would like to suggest 4 steps that Stanton could consider to do if he faced with such a dilemma. First, he need to identify potential legal issues. So there's standard that provided by International Ethics Standards Board for Accountants that released in June 2019. So Stanton should refer to this standard in order to identify the potential legal issue that may happen if he drop the matter. Second, take an outsider's view. From here, we could make some example, which if we have different view from other people, such as from lawyer, from law people, and then from other firm. So from this, he could conclude and make his decision better. Third, identify the parties affected. Stanton should make a very detailed consideration in order to make his decision. So he need to list out who parties would affected if he drop the case. Finally, get professional advice. So if Stanton cannot make a wise decision, he could hire and get professional advice from legal counsel and also from law firm, in order to make his decision according to the standard and according to the law. So I think that's all from us for our cases. Thank you.